During the ministry of Jesus, we read throughout the Gospels that at times, there were demons who were oppressing people. Jesus seemed to fairly often come into contact with people who were possessed by these demons, these forces of darkness of Satan. But they knew they answered to Jesus. They answered to God and the Son of God and the Spirit of God. And so we see Jesus time and again casting out these demons, getting rid of them. And we see a crazy event of this happening in Luke chapter 8 as we pick up today in Luke chapter 8, beginning in verse 26, when Jesus and his disciples, they had sailed to the country of the Gadarenes. They had just sailed across. We had just read last time about the storm that came while they were sailing in the boat, and Jesus calmed it all and stopped it. Well, they get to the country of the Gadarenes, which is opposite of Galilee. And when Jesus stepped out on the land, there met him a certain man from the city who had demons. This man had more than one demon possessing him, as a matter of fact, we are told. And he had them for a long time, it says. This man met Jesus, this man who had demons for a long time. He wore no clothes, nor did he live in a house, but he lived in the tombs. He lived in the tombs, and imagine somebody there naked, no clothes on, living amongst the graves, the tombs, and dead bodies and whatnot. And when he sees Jesus, verse 28, he cried out, fell down before Jesus, and with a loud voice said, "What have I to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." Notice what happens when Jesus came and encountered demons. They feared him. They trembled at Jesus. The demons knew exactly who Jesus is. They know who Jesus is. And so when Jesus gets there and this man comes, these demons in this man, they know who Jesus is. They fall down. They cry out, what do I have to do with you, Jesus? But they call him who he is, Son of the Most High God. And they beg, do not torment me. Do not torment me, because they knew that Jesus had the power to cast them into torment. For Jesus, verse 29, we're told what had actually happened. Jesus had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. So apparently when this man had met Jesus, Jesus had told the demons to come out. For it had often seized this man, and he was kept under guard, bound with chains and shackles, but he broke the bonds and was driven by the demon into the wilderness. People had tried to control this man, keep him chained up, but he broke away, ran out into the wilderness. Jesus told this demon to be gone. The demon, he cried out and begging, do not torment me. So Jesus asked him, saying, what is your name? And the demon said, Legion, because many demons had entered him. And they begged Jesus that he would not command them to go out into the abyss. Now a herd of many swine was feeding there on the mountain. So they begged Jesus that he would permit them to enter the swine, the pigs. And Jesus permitted them. Then the demons went out of the man and entered the swine, and the herd ran violently down the steep place into the lake and drowned. So it seems they probably wound up anyways in the abyss where they didn't want to go. They tried to enter the pigs. The pigs got spooked, ran off the cliff, and drowned and died. And when those who fed the swine saw what had happened, they fled and told it in the city and in the country. I mean, imagine what you have just seen. I mean, again, this crazy man, this possessed man with all of these demons, and how bad it was for him, and the people knew it. And you imagine you're these guys who are feeding the swine, and you see this man get off the boat. You see this man come into your land, into your country. He comes to this demon-possessed man. He tells the demons to get out. The guy falls down. They begin to have this conversation. Jesus, permits the demons to go into the pigs. The demons go into the pigs. They get spooked. They run. They die. And you've just seen all of this. I would imagine that if you saw that Jesus had done this, it would have been amazing, exciting. Wow, he just cast out demons. I mean, the whole thing with the pigs is crazy and, kind of scary, but that's what happened. It says they fled and told it in the city and in the country. And you would think people would come knowing that Jesus just cast out these demons, and they would ask him for help for all kinds of things. But it says, verse 35, then they went out to see what had happened and came to Jesus. And they found the man from whom the demons had departed sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind. I mean, that should have been amazing. This man that they knew was demon-possessed. But now he sits there with clothes on. And he's in his right mind again. That should have been amazing to them. They should have welcomed Jesus. But it says they were afraid. The ones also who had seen it told them by what means he who had been demon-possessed was healed. That this man, Jesus, just cast out these demons. But notice verse 37, then the whole multitude of the surrounding region of the Gadarenes asked Jesus to leave. They asked him to depart from them, for they were seized with great fear. Can you imagine that? Jesus has just gotten there. Jesus is ready to go. Jesus is ready to preach, perform miracles, all kinds of healings. Yes, casting out demons. He gets there. He casts out these demons. And instead of welcoming him and wanting to see more and know more, the people actually wanted Jesus to leave. They asked him to leave. And so, Jesus got into the boat and returned. He just got there. Performs this miracle of casting out demons, and they make him leave. But notice verse 38. The man from whom the demons had departed begged Jesus that he might be with him. That's amazing. That man was in his right mind in more ways than one. That man knew he needed to be with Jesus. He needed Jesus. Jesus healed him. And he begged Jesus to be with him, to go with him. But Jesus actually sent him away, saying, return to your own house and tell what great things God has done for you. And he went his way and proclaimed throughout the whole city what great things Jesus had done for him. Jesus told this man, no, I want you to stay. They didn't want Jesus there. So Jesus didn't push the matter. Jesus didn't stick around anyway, but he made this man stick around and go and tell all that he could what Jesus had done for him, and he did. And so that man did a great thing in staying and going home, telling family, friends, neighbors, whoever, about Jesus and what Jesus did for him. But how sad, really, that the people really asked Jesus to leave. I can never get over that. I can never understand. It baffles me how they did that. But there is Jesus traveling around performing these miracles, and shows the power of God in Jesus and the Spirit, the authority that Jesus had of God as a Son of God to command and cast out demons, and they knew it and they feared him. The demons fear and tremble before God, before Jesus, the Son of God. The demons know who Jesus is. And we know who Jesus is through his word. And we have faith and believe in Jesus. And we need to continue to grow in that faith to see Jesus and who he is, and the faith that we should have in him. And the question for us is, are we like the people of the Gadarenes who don't want Jesus? Who don't want to invite Jesus into our lives, keep him at a distance? Or are we like the man who was healed, who begs to be with Jesus, who knows how much he needs Jesus? May we all see how much we need Jesus. And thanks be to God, he is there for us and our salvation. God bless.